Yeah, that's the perfect intro for tonight.
Yeah, you can't even see what that is. I click on down there, and that was perfect. I'd never clicked on that one before.
Got UFOs going here.
Oh.
Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Funcast tonight. Oh, we got some background there.
Yeah, phone's on silent. Come on.
That's funny. Yeah, everyone, welcome to the Funcast. We had so much fun doing it again last week. We'll do it again this week, and we have a doozy for you again. If you didn't think we'd go crazy enough last week, we're gonna top that this week because of Trent. So make sure you keep listening along. I'm Ryan, of course. Beside me is Trent, and below me is Mr. Homer Bryant down there. We are going to skip Taylor Swift talk tonight.
Boo.
That is all I've fucking heard on the internet, all they're seeing on the internet all day. I'm kind of sick and tired of seeing more about Taylor Swift than I am about actual football.
So, what words do rhyme with Kelsey for her next breakup album?
Oh, I haven't even thought of that. I can start thinking of it while we before we get to the Chiefs part.
Dude, it's love. It's not going to be a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go rogue here right away, and I'm doing a follow up from last week. Okay.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about serial killers.
There we go.
We didn't even get to football talk before we went off the rails tonight.
Yeah, it's starting. I didn't tell you I was going rogue, but I found this out. We were talking about the whole serial killer thing, and I believe we were talking about how they were some of them movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre are based on real life, and this is just kind of this fits last week. That's why I'm doing it. So that is based off of a real person. I don't know if you guys have looked into it or not.
The Texas Chainsaw?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, have you looked at he's from Wisconsin and all that stuff?
Mm-mm.
So yeah, his name is Ed Gein from Wisconsin. Dude, that is just messed up. If you look it up, it is fucked up what he had in his house. It's bad. But
well, a bunch of Big Ten propaganda. What the fuck happened there?
That's where I was gonna go with this. Obvious Wisconsin fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, of course, I can't even think of another. Is there another Power 5 school in Wisconsin?
No.
Green Bay, Marquette.
They're not Power 5.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He doesn't seem like a guy who likes hoops too much. I think he'd be more of a, gridiron guy. I mean, what is he Leatherface? Or am I getting him mixed up with someone else?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Leatherface, leather football. I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
yeah. So this guy in Wisconsin, he killed a few women, but he would dig up graves and try to find women that look like his mom and just try to make movies like I believe Psycho, Texas Chainsaw, and Buffalo Bill or Buffalo Bob, if you're a Joe Dirt fan, are all based off of him.
Heard that Buffalo Bob's been shoving road flares up your bunghole.
What? No, but yeah, if you're really interested into some dark reading, look that guy up because that is it is messed up what was found in his house. But Big Ten, obviously Big Ten. I mean, I don't want to imply, but it's very possible he was a Big Ten fan.
Where'd the Texas come in? Where'd that come in? From Wisconsin.
They just took the stuff about him and kind of made it a little more, dramatization to make it more appealing.
Well,
because all the stuff that that was actually real life of him wasn't appealing enough.
See, I could say that. I could see a Texas fan doing that.
So who did more cruel things? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, or what Brian Ferentz is doing to poor Iowa fans for the last 3 years?
Oh my!
I think there's an argument on one side or another on who's done worse to more people.
After Saturday, you got a strong argument, man.
Unhappy Valley for those Hawkeye fans.
Yes, we'll get more into that on Wednesday for the Funcast, along with some Hawkeye fans.
And just want to throw this out again. Dahmer also from Wisconsin, so Big Ten guys, come on,
man.
Big Ten country. Well, I mean, what else are we gonna do in this area? I mean, it literally, it's like. What is it? All of the heavy, like the top 20 to 30 heaviest drinking counties, like 25 of them are Wisconsin, Iowa, like this upper area. I mean, there's nothing else to do. You just get bored. You're twiddling your thumbs,
Yeah.
I feel like those guys should contribute more to the heaviest drinking counties and not what they actually did.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm trying to justify it. I'm just trying to,
Brian's like, it's really not that bad.
Hey, no, now you're putting words in my mouth. I'm just going. There's not a lot of stuff going on, which I'm assuming is why we drink a lot. So,
we talk about.
Speaking of,
we don't.
Yeah, that's what
we're talking about.
What are you guys? What's your problem?
Yeah, after a long, Monday, when we do our podcast, some of us just got to drink to relax after a long 8 hours today. So suppress the urges. So
yeah.
Well, before we keep going crazier, should we do a little bit of football before we get to Trent's ideas?
Let's do it.
Let's get through football because this is intriguing me quite a bit.
Do you want to be happy first or sad first?
Get the sadness out of the way, my friend.
Well, there we go. The Vikings gonna Viking.
They suck, dude.
That's so bad.
They don't deserve to win.
No, so I didn't even get to watch the game, which I guess that's fine. I got to listen to about the last 7 minutes of it while we were driving back to South Dakota from Iowa. And they had 2 chances to win that game, and they pissed both of them away.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
but we were within the 10 twice in the last 5 minutes and got no points out of it.
Yeah.
What's the main concern there? Why they're not scoring within the 10? Is it blocking? Is it work?
Well,
if you listen to most Vikings fans, our quarterback is the worst quarterback in the league. He's on pace to set a bunch of passing records, but he's the worst QB in the league and just ruins it for us.
Yeah, that interception on the last play of the game wasn't on him either. Like that went off a receiver's hands.
Yes.
Do you want the on-pace numbers?
Yes.
Kirk Cousins on pace for 6,092 yards, 51 touchdowns, and to go 0-17.
And he's the problem. He's the problem. Like, I want us to trade him to the Jets just to give him a chance. Like, we don't deserve him. We really don't. And the frustrating, I said all this in our group text. I think our GM sucks. He's not Ryan Poles bad, but this is the second worst thing to come out of a Princeton grad since the one that decided what Bud Light's advertising can be.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, Ivy League people, you're super smart, but figure out real life. Like, just figure out real life. Moneyball in the NFL is not going to get you anywhere.
No.
Go ahead.
Ryan, do you know how long they looked at those equations to get this figured out? This is what's working for the Vikings.
Yeah, and so the whole idea of finding as many low-paid players to try to get the most out of them is a very enticing one, but it's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So we have patchwork inside offensive line that's just garbage. They can't block anything. Same thing with their defensive line. They haven't touched the defensive line. I guess they signed one defensive end with a history of injuries, and guess what? Hasn't played a single game this year because he's injured.
What? Are you kidding me?
And he was, crazy to believe that. I'm pretty positive we spent a first-round draft pick this year to pick a wide receiver to replace Justin Jefferson, because why would we pay the best player in the NFL? We'll just replace him with someone cheaper.
Yeah. It always works out every single time.
I'm pretty positive that's what our GM is going to do. And like I said, he's not quite as bad as Ryan Poles at this point, but boy, in a couple seasons, it might be looking that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they were going through the equations like you were talking about, Bryant, did they, like, forget to carry a 1, or what happened?
I forgot the square root of pi or some shit.
3.15.
Yeah,
maybe.
They rounded up too much.
Yeah. Standard deviation,
That's the issue.
Classic number stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy is smarter than I will ever be, but go back to Wall Street. I'm sorry, but come on. This is just, I think this is a bad experiment. I really do.
Did he?
And I feel like.
Go ahead.
No, I feel like KOC is a good coach, but I feel like he's a little over his head at the moment because that play calling, one, you don't have your a lot of Kirk got a lot of flack for not spiking the ball. Well, guess what? The head coach told him a play in the headset that he couldn't hear.
Yeah.
So instead of just being F it, spike the ball, he still tries to keep calling a play. We have 30 seconds left, and we take it down all the way to the 12 on the 5-yard line. It's like spike it. Where it's first down. Take the spike, use the 3 downs because you just need them. But instead, we go really smart with a 5 or 4 receiver, 1 tight end stick route, all of them, where it's just like, oh wow, this is going to be really awesome, amazing play. No one's ever seen this before. And my last complaint here is our tight end who reset the freaking market that's getting paid more than Travis Kelce. First quarter, gets a ball right in his breadbasket, has it held in his breadbasket, and lets a tiny cornerback just pull it out of his arms. Are you kidding me? And then the last play of the game goes right through his hands, and that was a tough pass to catch for sure. But if you're going to reset the market and think you're worth that money, you've got to prove it.
And I can't remember. I just saw the replay of that last play of the game. If he would have caught that, was he in the end zone?
No, again, a terrible play.
If he would have caught that, time would have ran out.
Also, again, you have the best wide receiver in the league, and you don't have him in any play for the end zone in the red zone. Like with it, you're on the 5 and a couple times inside the 10, and you do nothing with Justin Jefferson. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, that whole last sequence was just weird. Like, and I agree with you. Go up there and clock it. Spike it. Get organized, and you still have 3 plays. You have 3 downs you can run. Get organized. I just felt like they got up there, they wasted time, they had a play called, they were in a hurry, and it was just kind of a mess.
It was an awful play call too.
Yeah.
An awful play call. Just it was pathetic. At this point, just like I said, trade Kirk to a team that could use him, that actually has a chance of winning, and let's just. We're obviously not going to keep Jefferson. I truly believe Kwesi's just trying to do what he can to get a replacement and not have to pay him.
Yeah. Honestly, the one thing, if you're quarterback, and even though you're trying to listen, and Kirk does a lot of things great, you got to know in that's just situational awareness. Spike the ball. Like, come on, you've been in a
somebody asked him about them, and he goes, "Yeah, I have the ability to, but I have to deal with the consequences for that too." So you're going to have consequences for being a QB1. One that's on a track to throw 6,000 yards. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, that seems like a scapegoat, but he doesn't do that much, so I'm gonna give him a pass on that. But I don't know. I think the other thing that you guys needed on Sunday, I mean, did your tight end not invite a giant country star to sit in the suites to watch him so he played a little bit better? He would have caught that, and he had his honey in the stands.
I don't even know if he has a honey.
Who's he taking now that Taylor Swift is off the market?
Well,
what country star?
Katie Wilson. That's who he needs to take.
Oh, she's dating Duck Hodges.
Is Reba single?
Say Reba?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton up to?
Reba MacGyver, huh?
Yeah.
If he's into redheads, I could see that, But that's pretty rough. I mean, I'm gonna throw this hypothetical to you because I've seen that going around too. Is like trade Kirk, let's tank for Caleb, yada yada, all this, and you'd hate to waste the talent that your team has this year. But if you could trade Kirk to the Jets, who would you want in return from the Jets? Because I
see, and that's the issue is the Jets don't have their first. So they don't have the trade. Kirk's got also, this is something that people don't understand. He's got a no trade clause. So he's repeatedly said he wants to retire a Viking. So he's got a no trade clause. He's probably not going to be re-signed, but there's no way he's going to, for 3/4 of a season, move to New York.
Yeah.
That's not happening. So, I mean, it's not a realistic thing. Plus, the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, who's going to come back, who's going to try to come back for the playoffs. Apparently, I don't know if they even make it to the playoffs, but he'll be back next year. So you're
He's going to tell the doctor to put ivermectin right into his hamstring or his Achilles. Just
His Achilles, yeah. And so it's like none of that makes sense anyway. But they don't have the. What are we gonna do? Try to get Garrett Wilson, and then let him go because he's too expensive to pay too?
Brees Hall.
That's what I was going to say. You guys need to get Brees Hall off of that team that doesn't want to, who runs them like 5 times a game.
Yeah.
Put him on your team.
Will McDonald.
And talk about the bad play calling too. First drive, we're going against the 32nd ranked passing defense. First drive, we run like 5 or 6 times in a row. Like, okay, like this running back can't hold on to the ball. He should have had 3 fumbles today, this last game again, if it weren't for the refs bailing him out. He had 1, but he should have had 3. The refs bailed him out on 2 of them. So you're doing that against the worst pass defense, and then you don't even get Justin Jefferson in the game until late second quarter. It's then again Jordan Addison. He's not. Nothing is seen from him until the third quarter, and he gets thrown to 4 times in a row. So it's like, what is going on here? This play calling is ridiculous.
Well, here's the good news for you, because I know you want to put this game behind you. You get to play at the Panthers next week. So it will be
Red Rocket's going to beat us.
No.
Red Rifle.
It is going to be an Adam Thielen revenge game, so you're going to have to watch the slot a little bit. I think that's your get right. I would say this is about the worst start that you could have even imagined. Even getting blown out would have been okay, but like you've kind of been in every single game and just getting kicked in the shorts. Yeah, lose by 3, lose by 6, lose by 4. It's the same thing, Actually, it's just the opposite of last year. Every single 1-score game you won last year, now you're just flipping the coin in its tails.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's bad this year.
Yeah,
it's just it's really bad.
When we had like the 7th ranked pass defense coming into this game, and then we give up 18 catches and 210 yards to Keenan Allen. I'm like, how?
So we either allow 200 yards rushing or 200 yards to one receiver. There's not really an in between.
Hey,
yeah, I was going to take him in fantasy yesterday, and then I heard that the Vikings are the 7th rated pass defense in the league. I'm like, nope, not going to take him. And
who'd they play before? I swore you guys someone had gone off against you the week before.
Well, that was Swift, the running back. The Wires, they didn't pass.
I thought Devonta Smith had a decent amount of yards.
He might have had 1 big.
Yeah, 131 on 4 receptions and a touchdown. So I mean, no offense, it's not like they're not known for giving up like the big play, but still, you got too much talent on that team to keep losing these games, man.
That's the issue. The defense doesn't have enough talent. Like Brian Flores isn't working with a lot.
Well, he'll get his guys in. I would say that's unfortunately the rough transition you're going to be in right now. And this is not the NFL is not college where it's like, give him some time. NFL is like, okay, you're going to win now or we're just going to fire you.
Well, and I think last year's draft, which is the first one for our new GM, might go down as the worst draft in Vikings franchise history. It's bad. It is really bad.
How many players are even on the team?
None of them are starting.
That's kind of up there with that Raiders draft like 4 years ago. That literally their one that was still on the team was Henry Ruggs, and we all know what happened there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yikes. Yeah, Caleb Evans is seeing some snaps, but he's the one that whose ball hit his hands. It should have been an interception. Hit his hands right in his hands and went up to their wide receiver and got a touchdown. So that would have finished the game for us right there. But yeah, that draft is looking to be the worst draft in Vikings franchise history.
They need to invite like an old vet. Like they need to bring in Culpepper, talk about the good old days, and
that's right,
and rally the troops.
Randall Cunningham.
I could definitely go for some
Chris Carter. Tell him to get a fall guy.
Back in my day, we used to fuck on boats because we were so good. We don't even deserve a canoe. That's what he's going to start bringing out.
I think Mike Tice was the original Dan Campbell, and we need to bring him back.
Yeah, with his number 2 pencil behind his ear.
All right, enough of my negativity, Bryant. I swear, if we say anything about Taylor Swift,
I mean, you can't not talk about this game and not bring her up, man. I mean, let's fucking go. That was the NFL changed their TikTok to said Taylor was here. I mean, it was amazing. Anyways, yeah, the Chiefs. I'll be honest. We knew the defense was going to show up. The one question had been the offense this year, and we got our get right game. Holy hell! I mean, I know the Bears lost their defensive coordinator, but I don't think that was changing anything this Sunday. That was about as brutal of a start as you could have. Couple notes. Like I said, another week, another shutdown of an offense. The defense looks legit now. I hate to say it because I even hate to pile on, but Justin Fields ain't that guy. I mean, I think they need to trade him and get him somewhere where they can get some coaching and get some picks out of it and just rip the Band-Aid off on this organization with how dog shit it is. But Justin Fields, his quote, he had a quote earlier on Sunday he went from the stud quarterback of Ohio State, where they're competing for national titles, and now at this point, after a game with the Bears for a couple years, he's talking about he's like happy to be alive, you know, and it was rough, man. I mean, they couldn't get anything going. Chiefs had everything going. Rashid Rice looking great. Travis Kelce had 69 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, everything was flowing with the Chiefs. The only real complaint I'm going to have about it, and bringing into our conspiracy theorist, is the NFL has a vendetta against one player, not even just the Chiefs. Jawan Taylor is the only player that's getting called for illegal formation for being too far back. And I've been watching every single NFL game and every other left tackle in the league, because I believe they can do their helmet up to the center's waist is how far back they can. And Jawan's the only one. I think he's been called. He called for over 60 games with the Jaguars over 3 years. He got called for 0 illegal formations, coming off the ball at the exact right time and lining up the same way he has. With the Chiefs, he's had 3 of the same calls, all because Chris Collinsworth had bangle little crybaby pee pants on Thursday Night Football, was spouting tears because he was lined up back, and now Jawan Taylor is the only person in the league that gets called for that. So either the NFL is going to need to smarten up, or otherwise, honestly, Andy Reid is actually talking about it in the press. And for Andy Reid, who says anything negative, saying, yeah, they're going too hard on him and they need to, call it fair, that's pretty bad, man. I mean, when was the last time you even heard Andy Reid say anything that wasn't neutral or positive?
I like his Nuggies commercial.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a positive guy. And if you're going to bring out anything that's, make him say anything negative, that's pretty bad. So I know life is good as a Chiefs fan. I'm not taking that for granted. But also call the games fair or call them the same, or, just get off it. Okay, you had your turn on Thursday Night Football crying about, oh, this poor little up-and-coming Lions team. It was a little unfair in the game they won. It was unfair for him. And now we're still punishing the guy who has been correcting it 3 weeks later. That's just dog shit, man. I mean, get over it. I don't know. It's not going to affect many games, but when you take away a touchdown that would have ended a drive and the next play Mahomes' ankle gets rolled, you're going to start hearing some shit from the league office. I mean, that's just going to be simple. NFL's going, why are you calling this shit? And now the star of the league is injured, and now, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be some real conversations I think they're going to have. So, I don't know. Chiefs got right. Who we got coming up next week? I apologize. I should have had this in front of me.
I think you have the Jets and then the Vikings.
The Jets next week?
Yep.
Oh, geez. That is going to be at Jets on Sunday night.
It was originally going to be an awesome game.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. I think with our defense is going to shut them down, though, man. I would say the battle will be the Chiefs' offense versus the Jets' defense, because they've been pretty legit. They've been pretty well, but if the Jets isn't going to do anything, man, and who knows, maybe these couple weeks with Wilson finally being underneath center, it's going to help. I don't see it, man.
Zach Wilson's just not. He's not the guy.
No.
I hate to say it, but I don't know if he's just not a confident person or what, but he's not the guy.
Yeah, but you go from this quarterback. He used to wear a headband his senior year of college for BYU. Literally said, anytime, any place, anywhere, anybody, we're going to play anyone. That's the confidence this kid had, and he was gunslinging. 2 years with the Jets, and this kid doesn't even act like he knows how to play the position anymore.
It's bad.
It's rough.
They should have never lost this week.
Yeah. Also, speaking of like the Jets quarterback competition, I always get a kick out of right now. My favorite, it's kind of a twofer. First off, how long are we going to keep doing who's available? He hasn't played in 7 years in the league or on any competition. Why do we keep suggesting Colin Kaepernick to that extent? Like, if you're going to suggest Cam Newton, that's even a questionable. It's like he played terrible and he played 2 years ago, but he was a former MVP, Carson Wentz has played within the last couple of years. You have all these actual quarterbacks play, and they're like, Colin Kaepernick deserves a chance. Sorry, man. I've never seen one guy sue an employer and get paid for not being given a job, and then still want to play for the same racist and terrible organization that is the NFL. I think it's just fucking stupid, actually.
Well, and he wasn't serious when he had his big showing tryout thing and canceled it last minute to move to a different location so nobody could actually see it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And then the only person that got signed from that is one of the receivers he was throwing to.
Yeah.
Because they said, because like if you can catch from a guy that throws that fucking shitty, you deserve a spot in the NFL, man.
The year is 2040. Caleb Williams is like 40 years old, a vet in the league. He goes down with an Achilles. Do you know who's available?
You know who hasn't played in 36 years? Colin Kaepernick.
62-year-old Colin Kaepernick.
And there's people out there that actually agree, think that that's a great idea. Like, there's a reason he doesn't have a job. It might be because he sued people and got blackballed, but I don't think that's 100% the reason.
Say that, and he's not good.
Yeah, I think
that's probably a big part of it.
A lot of people start looking at his last season's stats and realize, oh, he actually declined really quick after he decided to more worry about activism than actually playing. His last year, he went 1-10, and he not good, man.
That's who you want leading his team. Like 7 years later, hasn't played.
A guy who loses 10 games and is more of an issue as a backup than he does win games as a starter.
Yeah, he was kind of helping with the founding of the social justice warriors, and that was his main thing. And you know what? That's the cross you're dying on.
But and good for him. If that's going to be his cause, that's fine. But it's same thing with Tim Tebow that we've talked about. He made everything. He was bigger than the sport, and he brought the circus. And a couple teams did try and give him a chance, but it's like, this circus isn't worth you being a third round or a third string, and I have to answer questions every fucking week about why you're not playing, even though you're clearly the third best quarterback.
But at least he moved on though and went to minor league baseball.
Yeah, and then tied in for the Jaguars, and what else is he doing?
Well,
now he's SEC announcer.
Yeah, SEC. Yeah,
you can thank Urban Meyer for that one.
Oof. I wonder what he had to pay to get that gig.
Just a couple finger guns and a steak dinner.
Well, beehole for the Tebow, But no, I was gonna say, like, the Colin Kaepernick conversation where they always go, who hasn't played. It always reminds me for some reason of, where it's like someone who's passed and they go, who would have been 97 today? John Wayne. And I always wonder, like, how long do you do that until you get to, like, okay, he would not have lived to 105 years old. I think you kind of get to 80 and then you taper off. We don't need to know he would have been 93 today. Mm-hmm. Nah, not most people don't make it that far.
It's almost as annoying as being told that Taylor Swift was at the Kansas City game yesterday.
Mm-hmm. She was. I hadn't heard.
Is she the new Ryan Tannehill?
Ooh, Tannehill with the Texas A&M.
She didn't play wide receiver in college, you think?
So, do you know that
everyone knows that I'm a Swift hater, so that's just me. Yeah, I've got a lighter in my hand, by the way. That's just me. But
do you know the album? What year that was for the album? So T Swift, she has a album titled 1989. Do you want to guess what year Travis Kelce was born?
89.
1989.
Mm.
She also
It's
has
meant
a
to be.
album named Red.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
Chief's primary color?
It's meant to be.
It is meant to be.
So I did a little research on this to kind of go along with my stupidity on subjects.
To fuel your anger.
Let's talk about musicians with cults.
Mm-hmm.
we got Charles Manson. We have R. Kelly, and supposedly, well, he kind of had a sex cult.
Yeah, his just is peeing on minors. That's kind of his thing. I don't know if it's a cult.
I think he had kind of a cult though too. I'm pretty
Maybe
positive.
I don't know.
He
You're
had
gonna
like a
have to
compound.
inform me on that one.
Yeah, he had like a compound of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Was it you or Joey? I think Joey said that Jared Leto had a cult.
Yeah, I think he was in 30 Seconds to Mars. But yeah,
Yep.
he runs a cult where all these women dress up in all white dresses, go to an island, and they kind of just like hang out and worship him. To be honest, there's nothing more than it's like, oh, he plays music for him a little bit. They fawn over him. It's a grand old time, man. But yeah, Jared Leto does have a cult. That one is legit.
The Beatles.
Yeah, I mean,
they hung out with Charles Manson.
I'm going to tell you right now, the Taylor Swift is Beatles level, and that's where like I know
she has a cult.
Yeah, I know it gets annoying with how much they showed her, but I mean, like when you have to be someone that pays for an entire restaurant's meals, so everyone gets the fuck out of there, so you can have some time of peace. There's a conspiracy theory that she left the suite because they had all these women. They had to tape off this whole area where the suite was. And all of a sudden, they have this 7-foot tall container that has popcorn on top of it that they're rolling out, and they're like, "That's her. That's got to be her." And these women are freaking out because they know that she's in this box, and they're shaking because, oh my god! I mean, that's Beatles level, man. That is incredible. Like Michael Jackson outside a courthouse, and he's waving at him and holding his kid over the balcony. She's to that level of superstardom. So, like, I don't know. Good for Travis. I really could care. I'm not a big Swiftie. But I at this point, I'm going to have to be on the Swifties side because I know you two aren't. So
that's how they
might make me start disliking Kansas City.
That's how they get her to the stage in these stadium shows because there's no way, no backstage. Like, they put her in like the big musical equipment containers and freaking wheel her out there.
Yeah, because these women would be ripping their hair out going, "I love you, Taylor," because she's just that big of an icon to them.
Well, in all the videos of, and I sent one to you guys yesterday about the one woman just completely in despair because she's supposed to be an Eagles fan, and now we're supposed to follow this bullshit of her being at a Chiefs team. Like, you don't have to. Like, let football be football. Like, you don't have to make this into the Taylor Swift show.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't make it into the Taylor Swift show.
She let out a good "let's fucking go" though, and it was for my team, so let's go Chiefs.
I can respect that.
But Kelce, when he did that touchdown, he was doing a little dance. She did it in a dance sometime back in the day. So,
that looked like that was kind of a Soldier Boy a little bit.
You want to hear another? Because we're gonna do conspiracies all night. Here's my conspiracy. The ESPN and Fox blew their wad on Deion Sanders, and now they're crying themselves asleep because he shit the bed. He didn't even like lose respect. He shit the bed. So now they have to have a news story that needs to overtake everything so that we forget about how much they blew Deion Sanders for 3.5 weeks. Prime time.
Hey. I won't forget ESPN.
We won't forget.
I will not forget.
Yeah.
How about the Oregon guy saying we're here for wins, not clicks, like they are or whatever? Mm-hmm. And Deion's like, I don't know why he would say something like that. I don't ever say anything bad about people. Like, poor me. Like, he has week 1, I was pro Deion, pro Colorado, what they were doing. And very quickly, he has made me turn.
Welcome to the good side, Ryan.
Yep. It is one of those, to be honest, as a Big 12 fan, it's gonna suck bringing them in because he's gonna be Dion. It's just gonna bring eyes to the Big 12. So that's where I'm like, let's just let them have their heyday. As long as ESPN covers how good the Big 12 is, as they are doing the Pac-12 right now, I can suffice with that. But yeah, it is very, it's becoming dangerously close to right now, and we'll talk. We can talk about an amateur hour too, but how if you ever disagree with Dion, you're kind of racist, and it's like no, anyone can have swagger, and that's fine. You know who has swagger? Joe Burrow. But you know what I've done the first 2 weeks of the season? Shit all over him because he shit the bed on his performance, and you talk about how bad he does. But you don't talk. No one's saying, "Well, you're just saying that because he's white." No, I'm saying it because he was. He has that swagger, and everyone talks about, "Look at how good this is," and then he does bad.
Yeah.
There's that's all it is. And if he can't take criticism, he might need to get at coaching real quick. And I know
Well,
and it's all the talking heads, but
that was his big thing after his first win over TCU is nobody likes it when a black man comes in and clears out the roster and blah blah blah, and like nobody gives a shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like college football, the NFL, it's predominantly African American athletes, and now like more coaches getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about that stuff, but you're making it into something that it doesn't help relations at all. It really doesn't do anything. Like for me, it just makes me dislike you more because I don't want to. I want it to be my getaway from the real world. I want to watch a fun team put up 500 yards and just play a good game. I don't want to worry about that stupid political crap in football. And Dion, that was like the first thing he did.
I think the big thing was just how he did it too. It's like, hey, everyone that's here, pack your bags because you're not going to start here. But my son's coming and he's going to start. On top of, and it's going to change. We're going to see a rapid change in the next, if it even takes 2 years, 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, where everyone sees, holy shit, he overturned a roster that went 1-11 and currently 3-1, and they're going to win more games. He overturned it because he brought in 70, 80 new people. Texas State had a huge win over Baylor when they overturned 50 new players. People are going to realize that this is the new wave, whereas we're accustomed to the Campbell, Ferentz, Dabo. I'm trying to think of other coaches, Saban, where we're going to develop you. You're going to come here for a few years, and if you're good off the bat, you can play. But it's typically juniors, seniors that are playing. And no one likes that. It's just like, well, we're just going to overturn everything, and it's worked. But they're going to flip. They're going to flip their tune real quick. He's just the first. He did innovate that to the extreme of transfer portal everyone out or in. Sorry, and I think it just rubbed people the wrong way with how he went about it too and how he said it.
Yeah. And that's college football talk.
Welcome to Amateur Hour. Oh wait, it's still the Funcast.
That way we don't have to burn through it on Wednesday. We got plenty to talk about with Iowa and Joey's opinions on it right now.
But I hate them. Since we're on them, I hate them even more now because I bet the over in that game, and Colorado did nothing to help get that over. Nothing. So
and I almost put that bet in for the 21-point spread, and I just couldn't do it. I was thinking, you know what, Colorado might put up a little fight.
Man, that's terrible.
I regret not doing it.
There's no one angrier than a woman scorned. I don't think there's any man angrier than when his bet doesn't hit. He remembers that shit for years afterwards.
I will remember that.
I went 7-3 this weekend. I am happy.
I went 1-3. No, 1-2.
Woo. Yuck.
Anyway, back to my original point. Taylor Swift is a cult.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Also, Sean Payton, you suck.
Whew.
Speaking of Colts, the Broncos. Come on, that transition was right.
Yes.
Man.
Conspiracy theory. I think Kevin James is actually coaching the Broncos.
I think if Kevin James would have coached this game, it would have been better.
You might be right.
I just remember Sean Payton coming in and saying, Nathaniel Hackett, that was the worst coaching job anyone could have ever done.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Well,
No,
and then
dude.
afterwards, he's doing the well. What do you? Yeah, we had a bad game. It's like, no, this wasn't bad. This was you made people forget that the Bears had a just They had a defensive coordinator arrested. They got outscored 41-10 in real. We were sitting starters in the middle of the third quarter as a professional football team, and people, unless you watch the game, won't remember it because you got 70 points scored against you. They almost had to fix the scoregami table of original scores because you allowed so many points.
That was a
Yeah.
Madden game.
Just fucking
Yeah.
insane, dude.
Fourth team ever to score 70 points, the Dolphins, on Saturday. And they could have set the record, but they took a knee at the end of the game. They were in field goal range. They could have kicked a field goal to score 73. 72 was the all-time record.
That was a disservice to those players, and that's bullshit. I hate that quote by McDaniel going, well, we're not trying to be disrespectful. Motherfucker, you put up 70 points in an NFL game. You don't get to talk about being disrespectful anymore. You don't get to say disrespectful once you cross 50. Once you cross 60, you're at 70 points.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of him when he was 10 years old and a ball boy for Denver?
Yeah.
You know, those earrings and shit.
At that point, what's 3 more points?
That's what I'm saying. Like honestly, all these players get to remember is we got the shit kicked out of us, but it wasn't the historic game. So we didn't even get to be memorialized in this game. Like
I saw a picture. It looked exactly like him. A guy looked exactly like him, had Dolphin stuff on, like the headset and everything in the stands holding it. It was like they're kicking the Dolphins ass they're kicking the Broncos ass so bad. He's letting fans call the plays now.
Skinny, scrawny guys are rejoicing that Mike McDaniel is going to be their new Halloween costume. It's the same thing why I do Andy Reid. It's the easiest. I get to buy more Dolphins gear that is a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and that's a costume now. I mean, perfect.
Yeah, and I love
this
Mike.
scraggly beard. It's for my Mike McDaniel's costume.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mike McDaniel. He's a funny guy.
I do too.
He's a very likable guy.
I mean, he's an innovator. I mean, if you watch some of these games and hear some of the comments and stuff, like, I think everyone was worried, like, they don't have a true, like, 6'4". Everyone still thinks, how big is Jamar Chase? I'm kind of watching the Bengals game, but he's like 6'2", isn't he?
I would guess, yeah.
Like typical wide receiver height, build.
Yeah, I mean, he looks typical wide receiver height. All of their players are like 5'9" and 5'10", and like we said, they can all run 20 miles an hour. But like his innovation is like, hey, instead of you doing this very jagged up 5 yards and then we're going to cut across and that's going to be our crosser. Yeah, just cut across, and then if it's 4 yards and you found the zone, or up 8 yards and you find the zone, just find an open area and we're going to throw it to you. And then we're just going to outrun you. And it's like blowing people's minds that that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I said this before we started recording, but I came across a stat that like the 5 fastest players mile per hour in games this year are all Dolphins players.
Yeah, it's like Kyrie twice, Waddle twice, and that Achan, I think, Achan.
Yeah.
He told everyone once they've been calling him the wrong name for like weeks. They finally corrected him after week 4. He just had to make a big play for people to start giving a shit how his name was pronounced,
The question that I saw today was, does Sean Payton deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? My obviously answer is no. I don't think he does.
One title, do we know what his career winning percentage is?
No, but one title, and then he was suspended a full season because he freaking did part of bounty.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. If you're not going to allow baseball players because of a steroid area when everyone did it and they just did it the best, I don't know. That one is really, it's kind of giving off the same vibes. Like, well, should we bring in Ray Rice if he would have continued, or Kareem Hunt if he would have continued a Hall of Fame career? No, like, I guess actually a good argument would be Jim Brown. They'd always try and smear him for his off the field issues, but he was an amazing player. But he was the greatest running back of all time. Like, he was the peak. Sean Payton isn't even remotely close to one of the top coaches.
No,
Sean Payton is 161 and 99. That's a 619 win percent.
So what?
So 61%, pretty much.
That barely gets you in the College Football Hall of Fame, man. I mean,
And I truly believe it's because of Drew Brees.
Yeah. Let's give credit where credit's due. That's Drew Brees. We've seen once it's not been Drew calling the plays. Jameis Winston trying to spit out, 43 Dragonstone, 478 crossover. Like, it doesn't work. One guy made that system work. And you can say the same thing, Tony Dungy with Peyton Manning. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and McNabb, Belichick, Brady. You can make those arguments for all these Hall of Fame coaches, but I don't know. I just think you haven't had the consistent winning and have the questionable character. That's tough, man. I don't think so either.
I don't believe he does, and I believe that is Denver. Denver's funny to me. I don't. Where I live is mainly Denver fans, and it's kind of there's some good ones, but there are some really arrogant ones. And to a Vikings fan, it's really funny to be arrogant. I will never understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But they sold their soul for Russell Wilson, who this year he hasn't really been in the issue this year. But then you sell it even further. You give your team away for him and Sean Payton. I mean, you kind of deserve this. You really do.
They sold their soul years ago for Peyton Manning, and they got their title, and then now they've been living with the consequences of it the rest of the time, man.
Yeah, and what was the stat last year that if they could score 18 points in their games, they would have won like 11 or 12 games or something like that. If the offense could have scored 18 or more. And this year, just the complete opposite. It's just their defense. I don't know what happened to their defense, but man, it's bad.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
So, Trent, you're saying you want to do conspiracy theories. Is your conspiracy theory about the Denver airport?
It's not. That is not my conspiracy theory. So
I always look for hidden doors when I'm there.
Do you want me to get into this?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right. So we have been just talking about topics to talk about that just aren't sports, because this is the Funcast. So, and my idea was conspiracy theories. So tonight I will let you know my favorite conspiracy theory. It's not necessarily that I believe it. It's my
biggest believer I know.
Yeah, I believe this. And like I said in the read what I said in the agenda here.
You're not going to fucking believe this.
That's what I wrote.
I'm ready to not believe.
All right, so get your tinfoil hats on, boys.
This is made of tinfoil. Well,
all right.
The Under Armour tinfoil edition.
All right, perfect. Australia is fake. It does not exist.
Okay, I was not thinking that was the...
No,
that is not the one I was thinking.
Have you heard this?
Oh.
Bryant, have you heard this?
I've heard of it, but that's like one of the more extreme ones that I didn't do any research because that sounds too fake. But I want you to convince me here.
It's not. It is not fake. This is legit. So Australia is just an elaborate cover-up by the British government for mass murder. And this has been going on for hundreds of years. Because I know you've heard, 300-400 years ago, the British government would send their prisoners to Australia. So Australia is populated by all these prisoners' descendants now.
Yep.
Well, this conspiracy theory has been dug up and kind of come back to life lately, like in the last 20 years, because of flat earthers. So the conspiracy theory is instead of sending these prisoners to Australia, to this island, they were just killing them all and telling everybody, yeah, we sent them to Australia, this island. Yeah. So, but now it's come back to life because flat earthers are like, well, they sailed them off the side of the earth. So 2 conspiracies in one right there. Flat earth and Australia is fake. So go ahead, Bryant.
Oh, I was going to say, so you're telling me that they climbed over the ice wall. That's what flat earthers believe. This ice wall that is Antarctica. They climbed over it and they threw them into space. They fell off, right?
Sailed them right off the side of the earth, man. It happened. So
didn't have a good day then.
No. And then so you're going to ask, like, well, like people go there, right? Nope.
So yeah,
That's my
No.
question. I know a guy that told me he's been there.
No.
Sydney Games.
No. They put him on planes, like planes that are going to nope. Africa. They send him to South. And tell him it's Australia. Yep. And also
You're losing me.
No. This is all part of the conspiracy. Animals that they say, like kangaroos and stuff, are from Australia. They're from just somewhere else. They just say they're from Australia to make you believe that it's real. And like people that say they're from Australia, they're actors.
You know, the one thing if you would have thrown in here to convince me that Australia isn't real is if you told me, well, see what we got here is this crooked stick, right? And what you do is you just chuck it in the air as hard as you can. It comes back every single time.
Yep.
If you would have said that was your basis on why Australia isn't real, I would have believed you a little bit more because it goes, it just comes right straight back to me.
No, that stick is from somewhere else.
You're trying to tell me that Crocodile Dundee isn't real.
Actor.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin.
He's South African Dundee is what he is.
Yep.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, so like pilots, they're in on it because all commercial pilots do fly to Australia. They're taking you to South Africa or South America or some island close to Australia.
Well, now pilots don't even have to know. They just hit autopilot, put on their blinders, they snooze while they're flying through the middle of the air, and the plane just lands itself.
Yep.
Thanks, Elon.
Mm-hmm.
See,
So
now you're starting to convince me a little bit here.
It's Australia is not a real place.
Are didgeridoos real?
I mean, yeah, they're real, but they're just from somewhere else.
Okay. So
I mean, how did Rocco's Modern Life theme song get made without a didgeridoo, Bryant? Explain to me that. So didgeridoos, yes, are real, but not from Australia. They are from, who knows, probably South America.
Have you guys seen Dewey Cox, the movie Dewey Cox?
Yeah.
No.
Where he's going through his stage of trying to do experimental music, and he's just, we need more didgeridoo.
That is an underrated comedy. If anyone hasn't seen it, by the way,
100%, so great.
And like a lot of people think it's like, well, you gotta see Walk the Line. It's like, no, you kind of get it. It's this musician. It's a parody of it, and I mean, Let's Duet. I mean, yeah, classic comedy. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommended. But
Paul Rudd is John Lennon, and Jack Black is Paul McCartney, and
we're the Beatles.
It's so great.
So
anyway,
sorry. I want to confirm. So you're saying that Steve Irwin, Elon Musk
is not Australian.
Crocodile Dundee, and Oscar Pistorius are all from the same country?
South Africa.
Who knows? They could be from anywhere. They're just actors that say they're from Australia.
True. Yeah. I don't know. That it's just a wild group of people that I can't. Charlize Theron, she's Australian, or South African, that is Australia.
It might not be South Africa. They could be from anywhere else.
Oh, okay. I thought
it's just South Africa is where they take you. Like if you're going to go on a vacation to Australia and you get on a plane, that's where you go. Is South Africa, South America, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. They can just land anywhere and tell you this is Australia.
I've been very suspicious of Keith Urban because when he sings, where's his accent?
Exactly.
I'm getting behind this.
Yeah. Change my mind. You can't.
Speaking of Australia, have you guys seen inside of a kangaroo pouch?
No, I have not.
You should watch it once, but it's kind of disgusting. I don't know if I should pull it up on stream. I don't think we want to get demonetized.
We might get taken down.
And NSFW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to see that.
Australian gets pried wide open, and it's just a kangaroo pouch. A little Joey just pops up in there. But it's gross. It's like you can see the bones and stuff in there, but it's just like the pouch where the baby stays warm. It's weird.
Huh.
I'll find a good picture and I'll send it to you guys, and you're gonna hate me later for it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Your
probably.
wife is gonna ask you, what are they sending to you on the podcast? And you're like, babe, it's just the inside of a kangaroo. It's fine. My single buddy Bryant said it's cool, so it's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I was not expecting that one.
Yeah, Australia is fake. It is not there. Now you ask, why is it on the map? Why is it on maps? Why is it on GPS?
Big maps are part of this.
No, British government. They have control of it.
Yeah, but I mean,
all goes back to Queen Elizabeth.
This has been this deep fake's been going on for
deep fakes, huh?
400 years. It's fake.
Yeah,
Somehow
you got big maps still printing them, and Google Maps now taking over it. It's
British government.
All I gotta say is follow the money, people. That's how you're gonna solve all these conspiracy theories. You just follow the money.
Yep.
So yeah, I was trying to think, like when you said hundreds of years old, I was trying to really think on what you're gonna go with, like the Revolutionary War, like Pluto never existed. They made that up. I was really trying to think of the most extreme. I would have never thought you would said a country doesn't exist.
So yeah, what's more believable? Australia's fake or Pluto's fake?
Pluto's fake.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. That moving. Yep, that's it. That you know how it takes us 1 year. It takes it 288 years. Yeah, that's why you don't see it moving at all. I mean, like, come on. And you're telling me the smallest planet, the furthest one away, that's the one you can see out there? Pluto's. Yep. I'm all in this Pluto's fake bullshit that you just made up, but I kind of believe it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Oh, don't worry. Some scientist that invented calculus back in 1490. He discovered Saturn 20 years later, and then a few years later, he discovered something even farther with less technology. Trust me.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever talked to a flat earther?
No.
Oh God, unfortunately, yes.
It's a very interesting experience, isn't it?
Well, and their whole basis, by the way, Pluto was discovered in 1930. So I guess your grandpappy might not have believed it. That's hogwash. Flat earthers, yeah, their basis of an argument is, well, disprove it. And I don't have time for that type of stuff in my life. You know, here we are. We're on a podcast. A few 30-year-olds. We're talking about football, and hey, this is kind of, and you're like, hey, so that seems a little far-fetched because a lot of people disprove it. And their whole thing is like, well, other scientists have been disproven before, so that doesn't mean this is the basis of this could ever be not disproven. And you have to prove it wrong to me, even though there's been like multiple documentaries that have proven flat earthers doing experiments proving to themselves that the earth isn't flat. But because they didn't do the experiment, I have to do the hard work for them.
It's usually the government knew that they were doing the experiment, so the government changed things around.
Yeah, they changed the angle in their, like on the Truman Show. They just that's what we're all just in the Truman Show. Just everything is controlled. Take your vitamin D pill, and yeah,
that one's a very interesting one where it's we're living in a simulation.
Oh yeah, we're in the worst timeline. We're in the worst simulation. Shut the fuck up. We're not. You know. Yeah, I've seen all those. It just I don't know, man. The for people to believe the Matrix one being real, okay. You enjoyed the movie back in the day. By the way, if you rewatched it, it's kind of dog shit now. The first one is like I can get through it. It's like original concept, and then 2 and 3 just become kind of more Michael Bay, bang bang boom boom, slow mo shit. Not fantastic by any means.
I haven't seen any Matrix movies since the first one came out.
You ended at the perfect time. Done.
I've seen it.
Yeah, Reloaded and Revolutions is terrible.
How many years ago? 23, 24 years ago.
Yeah. Matrix 4, even worse, because it takes meta to another level. And it's just like, first off, I fell asleep in the theater watching that one. And then I fell asleep at home trying to rewatch it. That's how bad it was, man. Like, it's just...
I remember that review.
Oh, just terrible, man. Like, have you seen Matrix 4?
No.
the Matrix all this time was a video game, but Keanu Reeves is the creator of the video game. By the way, this might be wrong, but this is what I remember because it was such a bad movie. But it was he was the creator, but then they want to remake the Matrix video game, but Keanu doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to ruin the original characters. But this big bad gaming studio wants to redo it anyway because it'll just make them money. Do you get it? It's meta. Warner Brothers is doing this with the movie, and it's the video game. Gah! Like it's just dog shit, man. And they made Morpheus gay. It's just like I didn't get it, man. It was bad.
That is the dumbest. That's the dumbest plot I've ever heard.
Oh, and also like they try and bring in nostalgia of like the video game clips, and they just play clips of the original movie while they're in the Matrix video game. Neil Patrick Harris can stop time, but he gets stopped. Trinity's there. Morpheus, original Morpheus isn't. It's weird, man. It is just a terrible movie.
I saw that the strikes are done now. The writer strikes. They formed a deal of some sort today, or preliminary deal. You know what their big idea is right away? The first one that got announced.
The Office reboot.
The Office reboot. So you're hiring writers or paying writers a shit ton of money to come up with a brilliant idea of rebooting a TV show that won't even work in the current age of things.
See, as much as we shit on it, now this is when we have to go to movies like The Haunting in Venice right now, and we have to go to what's the new one? The Creators, this new AI movie. You got to support those ones so they know. Let's make new stuff rather than going, let's just go back in the old pot. Oh, The Office. Let's get some tall, gangly white guy. Let's get some average secretary. Okay, Office 2.0, and everyone's gonna cream their jeans over it. That's just
no, because nobody asked for that this time at this age. At this age, it won't work. The things that made The Office super funny are now. I'm sorry, I guess that'll get me canceled because I find them funny. Are what made the show funny.
Are they bringing back Michael Scott? Because I think it's the best thing they could do to make it as funny as it originally was.
No, because they're rebooting The Office in Australia. Well, it can't be Australia. It's got to be South Africa. So they're rebooting The Office in fake Australia. Real.
Yeah. That's what they want. That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the boss is a female, which whatever, that's fine. But she's the anti-Michael Scott, where it's not going to work. That's not what.
So they're going to have Angela basically running off because she's the opposite of Michael Scott.
Yes, basically, and it's just that isn't. It's not.
I don't know.
It's not gonna work.
I'm gonna let Joey review it. Tell me if it's good or not. Maybe I'll bum his Peacock. That doesn't sound like anything I'm gonna. Between that and them trying to sell Maryland Charlotte football games on Peacock, they're 0 for 2 for me on wanting to buy their product so far.
The Continental, a prequel to John Wick.
Yep, that one actually looks kind of legit.
Watch the first episode. It's good. It's very good.
Do they do any wink and nod to the audience our last you're gonna have to wait for our last guest to get out of there, Mr. Wick. Wink, and then it's nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Although the end of the first episode ends with a line that John Wick says. I mean, it's nothing. It's more of like a wink.
Yeah,
of this,
I'm thinking I'm back.
No, not that one, not that one. But it is kind of linked toward. I will say this, and again, get me canceled because this guy's a terrible person. Mel Gibson, amazing as the big bad guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, just natural villain in today's day and age, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool. The first episode is the only one out. It's an hour and a half long, which is, I mean, that's by the time this is done, this is going to be 3 movies, almost.
Is it only 3 episodes?
Yeah, it's a miniseries.
So is it going to be like 3 weeks? Like if I were to get like a free weekend of Peacock, it would be worth watching that.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, the first episode I was impressed with, and I mean, it was kind of world building. It was setting a lot of stuff up, and I thought it was really good. So now that that's kind of all done, I'm sure it's going to get even better.
They explain the gold coins.
No.
Damn it. Okay.
No.
I wouldn't say that was the one thing John Wick. When you go in, it's like, oh yeah, runner gunner. It's Keanu Reeves, but just how much original. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like when it's like you hear the strikes over good. This is what we want more of John Wick, world building something, and now it's kind of expanding out. But I mean that we want something original like that. That was original when it came out, and it kept the fight. Like I always thought Kingsman was really good. With their different style of fight scenes, and it was just different.
Yeah.
So
Did you like John Wick 4?
Which one?
4, the latest one.
I don't think I've seen it. I got through Parabellum when he cuts his finger off, and I'd been waiting for 4 to be on streaming.
4 it might be my favorite one.
Okay.
Bill Skarsgård is an awesome villain. He is so good in that. I wish there needed to be more of him.
I think all I remember is him riding a horse and shooting a man in the head, and it's like, okay, that got me. He was riding through New York City in the streets on a cop horse or something, police horse, I guess what they call.
Well, that's 3. So 4. That's not 4. That's 3.
Oh, that's 3.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't seen 4 then at all.
3 was my favorite, and then 4 might have beaten it. Like this is the one series that the sequels are actually better than the original.
Okay.
But 4 had a couple of fight scenes that were they were just amazing. The way they did them. There's one that just sticks out with my mind that might be the greatest fight scene in all of cinema.
Really? Better than old boy fight hallway scene and shit?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're starting to sell me here.
Yeah. No, I've gone back and watched that scene plenty of times. It's amazing. It is so awesome.
So, well, fuck. Well, I might have to get that streaming service and get back into the John Wick things here.
I don't know what's John Wick 4 streaming on, because now I want to watch it again.
I would assume Peacock then. If they've got the rights to the actual show, I would assume they got the rights to the movie at that point. Trent, would you happen to know, sir?
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like you need you have to pay.
Trent, have we ever told you need to watch more movies?
No, I've never heard that before.
It's on Stars.
Oh. Who has Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Wick 4 has, and I'm going with the audience score because reviewers, critic score is worthless. Although critic score has 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is 93%.
Yeah, if you got Stars, you're also like looking for Skinamax for porn. And it's just like, no, you wouldn't believe how easy it is to turn on Skinamax. It's like, oh, the internet, man. No.
Yeah, there's this new thing, guys.
It's called a magazine that I get mailed to my house once a month, and then I have to hide the physical evidence from my family. It's the easiest way to do this, guys. Those are the same people that have Stars.
You're still getting the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Probably no, not anymore. But back in its heyday, they were legit. They'd be like, "Yeah, just reading sports in here, Ma." Humana. You're just flying through the pages.
Oh, that's funny.
You're flying through the pages, and it's like, Serena Williams. Damn it. Well, gonna have to restart this thing. Damn it.
I remember in high school, the big one was, is she really that old? But Kate Upton was the big one back in high school. Gosh, I didn't think she was that old now. Man.
Well, and didn't Justin Verlander just win a ring with the Astros?
Yeah, he was beating some garbage cans and something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy won in life anyways, and he won a ring, man. I mean, that fucking 2 for 2. It's like he won 2 for 2, and he also is a decent height, like Acuna. It's like, yeah, you got a kind of bullshit ring. We also have to be 5'5" the rest of your life. So, like, was it worth the World Series, man? Because, like, I don't know.
Who would you rather have at your team's games, Kate Upton or Taylor Swift?
Well, considering I think Kate Upton's going to be more scandally clad, so I'm going to say Kate Upton. That's just one man's humble opinion.
She can be wearing a sweater and a damn poncho. I'll go Kate Upton 10 out of 10 times.
I know we didn't want to talk about T Swift, but there is a Dave says neither. Dave, tell us who you want in the comments here.
Yeah, who do you want to see, Dave?
But do you know how shitty life has to be? Like, okay, T Swift, she asked for it. She's a public figure. She's making millions upon billions, right? Do you know how shitty your life has to be where everyone breaks down every single move? I saw a picture last week of her. The angle was just slightly up her nose, and she had a couple boogers in there. And people are breaking down if she does cocaine or if it's boogers. And either way, she's a disgusting person. And it's just like, who the fuck cares, man? Like, first off, if she is doing cocaine, good. Like that explains why she's doing this tour and how she's able to have all this energy. But it's like, and if she has bogeys, who the fuck cares, man? Like, I'm not gonna act like I haven't like talked to a coworker and I do like this, and you just feel one that's like been on the rim, and you're just like, oh shit, and feel like a dumbass, like.
Her nose is expected to be like Kim Jong-un's butthole, where he doesn't poop. She never has boogers.
That's what they want. I mean, they literally want perfection out of her.
That's my favorite conspiracy theory.
It was that picture accusing her of being on coke, and it was like one of the replies is like, "Nah, take it from me, coke addict. Them ain't no coke boogies or something like that."
No, yeah. I mean, well, and it's like that explained like how I was jokingly talking about the tours. Like, you can tell people that haven't done it because like if you think it lasts 3 hours, you're fucking insane, man. Like, let alone like she's not up there every between every song. I don't know. People are just trying to hate, but I'm not going to let them.
Well, they're just being so mean.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just. I was trying to think of another pun and I couldn't. I was trying to make "You Belong with Me" in there. I'm pooped. We've been going hard here, trying to disprove Australia and flat Earth, and still discuss why Sean Payton's a terrible coach. I'm mentally exhausted here.
Yeah, we kind of go all directions on the Funcast now. So, but yeah, no, Australia.
Not Gal Gadot. Another one like good to look at. Man, is she a terrible actress? I like the more it's like I try and give her benefit of doubt, and she just. I have more personality right now as I'm talking about how terrible her personality is.
I don't even know who that is.
Wonder Woman.
I gotta look her up.
She's very pretty.
Trent, don't look it up on your home computer because your wife's gonna ask why you're looking up Gal Gadot.
Yeah, like I said,
why is it specifically Gal Gadot thighs? I don't get this.
Maybe Margot Robbie. I'd have to go with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I've literally never seen anything with her in it.
Is she? I could be wrong, but is she the Pussycat Dolls lady?
Who?
Eliza Schlesinger.
Didn't she have a song with 50 Cent back in the day, or am I really getting people mixed up? No, that was Nicole.
Ah, yes. Oh, that is not what I was looking at.
Mine would be Fran Drescher from back in the day.
Nicole Scherzinger, close enough.
Yeah.
Oh, David said she's a comedian.
Okay, I can deal with that. I've just never.
I don't know who that is.
Dave, she looks like your basic white bitch. What's going on here? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
She wearing Ugg boots?
I hope
probably.
So.
Yeah, I would have to say modern day Margot Robbie, and I'm talking Wolf of Wall Street version, not Barbie version.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what these people are in.
Yeah, I don't know who Eliza is. Mark.
Yeah, shit. Now Dave's hitting us with every hottie that he's. We named 2, and he's like, "Here's 10 right immediately." We're gonna have to.
Who's on Breaking Bad?
Yeah. Betsy Bryant.
Oh yeah, her. You're talking about the brunette that overdosed, right? The goth chick. Or did I tell on
Betsy?
myself?
Yeah, Betsy Bryant is Hank's wife. She's the only
No.
person I could think of that I could only think of her real name. She's the only one I could think of.
Trent, you need to do yourself a real solid and go watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. It's a great movie.
Oh, I have you. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
how is that the one movie you've seen?
because it's awesome.
There are many awesome movies that you haven't watched.
The Wolf of Wall Street's great. So
It is fantastic. I agree 100%.
Kristen Ritter.
that's Jesse's girlfriend that overdosed. So I have no clue.
She related to John Ritter.
Probably.
Maybe. It's amazing how many nepo babies there are in Hollywood. But
And
Trivia.
Iowa City.
Trivia is she plays guitar.
Whoa.
And 150 out of 165 people gave it a thumbs up. That was interesting.
I'm more intrigued with that than Australia is not a real place. Just
Yeah,
saying.
Did you know
Dude.
Bryan Cranston loves bagels? It's everyone's like, fucking yes! That's what I wanted to know about Bryan Cranston.
I love bagels too.
No, we're just alike, me and him. Yeah.
So next week I'll try to find a new profile on a Big Ten serial killer.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get out
Right.
towards New Jersey though, and you're gonna have to start looking at the Californias and Oregon now that they're expanding to the West Coast.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big population I have to go through.
Amazing how many serial killers and fucked up people support Big Ten teams, but you know they're the type of
Who's
people that
the-
get in fights with 86-year-olds. So
Who's the? Oh, they were the big tapes that came out on Netflix. Is it Ted Bundy?
Yeah.
yeah,
Ted
so
Bundy.
Zac
Yeah,
Efron.
wasn't he from like Oregon or Washington State, somewhere up there?
Right, I'll check
He's
it
from
out.
Vermont.
Hmm.
Well, that's where he was
Oh.
born. That's where he was born, I guess.
I thought he was doing that stuff in like Oregon or Washington State or something like that.
Oh, he went to the University of Washington.
Another Big Ten school,
Huh.
man.
Wow.
I mean,
Yep.
we're not even trying. We're just naming what's the next big one, and it's another Big Ten school.
I mean, Big 12 has BTK, but he's nothing like Dahmer
I mean,
or Ed Gein
yeah, but-
or Ted Bundy.
Big Ten, it just means more. Where we're gonna have to come up with a killer saying for.
It just
cannot-
means
I mean, we're batting 1,000 on naming serial killers, and they're somehow affiliated to a Big Ten school every single time, man.
Sorry, Joey.
It also worries me that they all have higher education degrees too. That really makes me worry.
Yeah, but
Hey.
see, you say BTK just because he's in Big 12 country in Kansas. He never went to. He went
But,
to
I mean,
Wichita State.
Yeah, but there's the pictures of him with the Kansas State gear. Though.
If I did John Wayne Gacy to Iowa, I can do BTK to KU.
yeah, we got it.
That's fair.
What the? Oh, there it is.
There
Sorry.
are no rules about my connecting serial killers to schools. That's gonna be my book I write. Ryan's judgment of serial killers to what college affiliations they are.
Oh, it didn't. There we go.
What
This
are you
is going to be
looking
the fuzziest picture, but there we go. That yeah, you're going to have to. I can't host. There we go. See that? There he is. There's the BTK killer. We're in Kansas State here.
Yep. Yep, typical K-State fan right there.
Real quick, are you great enough to come up with a killer saying for EMA there? I mean, every man
Every man attacks women. No, that's not right.
No, yeah. Well, actually, that's it. That's fucking it right there. That's golden. Every man attacks women, or eccentric man. We'll make it specifically him. Eccentric man attacks women.
Yeah.
This is
But
great.
see-
I love his Pontiac van and all.
Well, and you know what? I don't think he could. It's bullshit. He doesn't. You can tell that's one of those magnets that you can pull off. But I commend him because first off, you see that 100-ounce mug he's carrying in his maybe 64 ounce in there. Do you know how much fucking pop is actually in that thing, man? Like, Have you actually ever measured out 64 to 100 ounces of pop in those like trucker mugs? I in college we were doing some challenge. We bought 2 24-inch pizzas and 100-ounce mugs, and our goal was to eat and drink as much of it until we felt like shit, and we all lost. We felt terrible for 3 days after. But we went to fill up one of those 100-ounce mugs. First off, that's like 3 liters of cola, and you don't know how long is until you have to sit at a fountain and you're just like holding up the one Diet Coke. I was doing that, and I just, hey, what's up? Yeah.
You want to know where?
Might as well just keep, might as well keep shopping here, folks.
You want to know where BTK
was
got
cool.
his education?
Who? BTK?
Wichita State.
Wichita State. He also went to Butler, and
Shocker.
I gotta say it right, El Dorado.
El Dorado. That's where he's living now.
That is one thing never do in Kansas, Brian, if you go down there. Do not say El Dorado, because you will just doesn't go over well.
Yeah, that's where he's living now, in the state maximum security prison.
Oh,
El Dorado.
That's where he was, wasn't he? That's where he lived.
No, he lived in Park City.
Oh, same difference.
Yep.
Well, we'll keep looking up serial killers and bad people, and like I said, we'll keep finding their affiliation to the Big Ten,
and somehow link them to NFL talk. I don't know.
And every weekend's going to be like, so a follow up, our serial killer of the week.
Yeah.
Big Ten homer of the week is.
These guys would kill for their team. That's just how much.
Yeah, they will.
It just means more.
Just means more.
What is the Big Ten slogan?
Shit, I don't know.
Dave says this podcast is very interesting. No, Dave, it's just really stupid at this point.
Yeah, we're pulling off the rails fast. There's no like. It doesn't even say like. It just means more. It just. Oh, and first off. Oh, here we go. Fine, I'm on Wikipedia, and it didn't have all the correct information on there.
It just says their slogan is "Dream Big."
Oh shit!
Wow.
Some of these guys think it's dream forever when they're. Oh. So.
Did they have like the legends and the leaders or something like that at one point?
Yes, the worst name. Hey, I get it. Sometimes you got to swing for the fences and you strike out. That was one of the worst, like East and West. Oh, we don't want something lame like that. Legends and leaders, and it's like
that's better than the leaders and the dogs.
And the dogs. Oh,
that's way better.
Do you think dogs is AWG or just OG?
AWG.
AWG.
Sure.
That's what I was looking too.
Yep.
Oh,
well, should we end this on that note?
Wrap it.
I mean, we got through serial killer talk and conspiracies and yeah.
What are we gonna do next week? Who knows?
We'll find something.
I like it. You don't even tell when you guys have just not told me anything about it. It's a lot more. Gets my brain working a little bit more because I'm waiting for something to hit me from left field out of nowhere. So.
Yep.
That's like today you sent the agenda out. I'm like, yeah, there's no agenda for this. We're just
it was honestly, so we put the scores in there, so I forgot. Otherwise not planning any of this shit.
Yep. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Everybody tell 20 people to listen to this. So that would help us out. So
Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Follow us on all our socials, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Heartland Pulse, and Facebook and YouTube at Pulse of the Heartland. That's where you can find us. We'll be back Wednesday, Bryant?
Yes, sir.
Wednesday for Amateur Hour, and next Monday for this random podcast again for the Funcast. So thanks for listening. See you Wednesday.